I'm finally doing it. I'm making a cake of a bearded dragon. I said I was gonna do this a long time ago. It's been like a year of reminders. And while I make today's cake, I'm also going to list 60 years of pets. Because a bearded dragon, it's a great pet. Now, I'm not going to list the most popular pets of each decade because that would just be dogs. Dogs have always and likely will always be the most popular pet. So instead, I'm listing off fad pets of each decade. Just like hair and clothes, pets go in and out of style. My name is Natalie Sideserf and I make cakes that don't look like cakes. And today I'm going to make a cake of a bearded dragon. We're going to start this bearded dragon cake with a log for him to sit on, because just having him flat on a table would be boring. All right, let's start our list of 60 years of pets. The 60s. 60 years ago was the 1960s, and there was a pet that gained in popularity
big time.
And that pet was the fish. Prior to the 60s, aquarium keeping was more of a hobby. It was a challenge keeping those fishies. The equipment and supplies needed wasn't as available, and it was really hard to get your hands on the cool exotic fish. But once the 60s came around, aquarium technology really advanced. They got some filters and heaters and lighting, and all of these things made it a lot easier to take care of your fish at home. We started to get more varieties of fish. Some of the popular fish of the time were the neon tetra. There was the angelfish, there were guppies. Oh, and the betta fish. Yeah. I really like fish. Some people say they don't have personalities, but I think they do. I've known a lot of pet fish that'll like come and they'll like swim up to the glass and they'll look at you. Okay, our log is sculpted, so let's get started on the dragon. The next decade on our list of 60 years of pets is the 70s. Just like all of the pets on our list today, this pet was around prior to the 70s. However, it became super popular in the 70s, and that pet is the pet snake. In the 70s, snakes were seen as like an exotic pet. They were unconventional. I think they're probably still seen that way. I like snakes. I've actually made a cake of a snake. A banana python to be exact. I love that cake. That was a fun cake. I like snakes, but I don't know if I'd want one as a pet. Like, they're so cool, but then once they start like wrapping around you, it's like, what are you doing? You trying to squeeze me? Do any of you have a pet snake? And if you don't have a pet snake, would you want one? Now that our log and dragon body are both sculpted, let's start painting. The next decade on our list of 60 years of pets is the 80s. The pet that was popular in the 80s was not a fan of the 70s pet we just talked about, the snake. And the 80s pet is the rabbit. There was actually a marketing push for rabbits as pets in the 80s. Bunnies were popping up all over the pet stores. They were everywhere. Michael Jackson had a rabbit in the 80s. Rabbits are pretty smart and they can be like socialized, so they make a good pet. There was even an organization called the House Rabbit Society in the 80s where they promoted having rabbits as pets. They are no longer just outdoor dwellers. Let's bring them into the house, have them hang out, hop around. The 80s really laid the groundwork for rabbit keeping culture. So we've gone from scaly fish to slithery snakes to fuzzy rabbits. What could be next? Do you wear clothes or know someone who does? Well, get yourself some more by heading over to sideserfcakes.com. That's where you can get some Sideserf Cake Studio clothes. Like this shirt of Paige, the cake notebook. I just got this apron in.
And I love it.
I also got a shirt of Bob the Boba, Larry the Onion, and all designs come in kid and adult sizes. But not just t-shirts, there's all kinds of stuff. I'll put a link below so you don't get lost on your way to the store. And now back to the cake. The next decade on our list of 60 years of pets is the 90s. And the pet that had a surge of popularity in the 90s is the bearded dragon, the cake I'm making today. They make great pets. Bearded dragons are one of the first lizards to gain popularity as a pet. That's because they're friendly, they're pretty docile, and they're not very big. I am very happy to be making this bearded dragon cake. The reason it took me so long is because it's really difficult. I am hand sculpting its face, so it's gonna take me a long time. And it is not easy. It's not easy getting those proportions right. But it's worth it because it's really fun. I can't wait to add like the beard and all that. Ooh, we're gonna have fun. Bearded dragons have this like beard-like pouch on their chin, and when it feels threatened, it like poofs out. And I did not know this until I made this cake. They can change color. They are one of only 2 species that can do that. They darken and lighten their skin to communicate with each other. I'm so happy I'm finally making this cake. Now I have a log, I have a body, I have a head. Let's put it all together. The next decade on our list of 60 years of pets is the 2000s, the aughts. Now this one makes me laugh because I remember this very well. It was huge. Everybody wanted one of these. The pet trend of the 2000s is the mini pig, also called the teacup pig, because they could fit in a teacup. Right? There were viral photos of these mini pigs online, and everybody wanted one because they're so ridiculously cute. It's just this tiny, tiny pig, got rain boots on or something, like little tiny rain boots. I don't know why I'm thinking of a mini pig in rain boots, but I think that was one of the viral photos. I remember people buying these mini pigs because when they're babies, they are mini, but they don't really stay mini. I wouldn't call them mini. They grow to be somewhere between 70 and like 150 pounds. There were a lot of people out there that bought mini pigs, you know, going, oh, look at it, it's this little pig, it fits in my hand. But then it grew up and it got huge, and then they didn't know what to do with their pigs. It was a whole thing. I even knew people. I knew 2 people who bought mini pigs and did not expect them to get to the size they got. You have got to do research on pets before you buy them. Some people say that mini pigs aren't like real. They're basically pigs bred to be a smaller size, so I'd say they're the cutest animal on our list today. All right, our bearded dragon is assembled. Now let's give it some finishing touches. And the next decade on our list of 60 years of pets is the 2010s. This pet had me thinking, because as a kid, I don't recall anybody I knew having it. But now I know people who have this pet. I bet you know people who have this pet. It has become very, very popular more recently. And this pet is the chicken. I think the popularity of the chicken has a lot to do with more people eating organic foods. It's far more popular than it used to be. Organic this, organic that. Guess what chickens lay? They lay eggs, and those eggs are organic. So you can have your chicken, hey little chicken, I like you as a pet. And then they have their eggs, and then you can take those eggs and you bring them in and you eat them. And you get so many eggs, you end up giving them to all your friends too. Everybody gets eggs. I think a chicken makes a great pet because it gives you gifts. Thank you, chicken. Now I wanna know what you guys think. What do you think is the fad pet of the 2020s? Do you think it's horses? I feel like I know more people with horses than ever. Or maybe the Shiba Inu? I happen to have a Shiba Inu. Chinchilla maybe? Or a ferret? Let me know what you think. I wanna know what pet you think is popular. So I'm finishing up the bearded dragon. I am so glad that I made this one. And thank you again to all of you who recommended I make it into cake. You all have the best ideas, you really do. Keep them coming in the comments. I knew this bearded dragon was going to be difficult. I knew it was gonna take a really long time with all that hand sculpting and hand painting. I can't wait to take a step back and look at it finished. Oh. Would you say that the popular pet of the 2020s is the axolotl? Yeah, they're pretty popular now. I've actually made an axolotl cake. You guys should check out that video. And there you have it, a cake of a bearded dragon. What do you guys think? I love all the texture. It's a texture overload. This one's gonna be a little hard to cut because it took me a while to make, but also it's pretty cute. But we've gotta do it. We've gotta cut the cake. Oh, the little guy, oh. If you like this video below and subscribe to my channel. I post a brand new cake every week. And I'll see you next week for another cake.